That's right. I said I was going to be on here, and I am. So, welcome to a hopefully a short, translated version of Psycho's Platters. Always powered by coffee, each and every time. That's right, guys. That's right. All right. So, anyways, I'm glad everybody's here. That's right. We'll go maybe about a minute, get some other people in on here. And yeah, I know. I'm sorry it's been a little while to be able to go off and it's been literally 12 days since I did my last stream. Yes. But I mean, it is what it is. And it happens that way. No personal checks. That's right. Oh, okay. She did kill it off. All right. Just checking. I kind of went off and hello there. Hello there, everybody. Oh, hang on a minute. Game shit. Oh, boy. Match game Hollywood Squares from 84. That's right. That's right, damn it. No personal checks. You know what, though? I got to tell you, I love Sven, but he's got reruns for like the next couple weeks for me. So I don't really watch him again because there's supposed to be like 10 minutes of quote new material, the bumpers and everything. But I'm like, I'm not going to go and watch a movie again just for 10 minutes of new stuff. So I can't remember what's being played Saturday. I know like the next two. Hi, Nick. The next two, the first one's in January, not the 1st, but the 8th and the 15th. I've already seen those already, and he's getting them back. So, yeah. So I don't know if you, like I said, if you guys jumped from Groovy Lisa's stream. I know she ended her stream. The title of the episode is Paul McCartney and My Mom. We'll get to why I titled that in a minute. But I hope everybody, like I said, is doing good out there. I'm sorry that it's taken me so damn long. I've been meaning to do a stream. It's been about 12 days since I've done one. Although, okay, thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. We'll have everybody start going on in a minute here or two. I wanted to bring up a couple things that the newest thing is the last episode I did was the Billy Idol Roadside EP review, which go suggest that go watch that, please, if you haven't. That would be beautiful. Yes, look at, we're already getting our people here. We got Richard, we got Lisa, we got Lesh, we got Nick. We've got a bunch of other fun ones right now. But before we get into that, I got here a piece of mail from the Gizmonic Institute. Does anybody know what the Gizmonic Institute is? In a not so distant future, where between time and space, la la la. So what did I get from the Gizmonic Institute? It's my Christmas card, my holiday card from the Mystery Science Theater 3000. It is the new crew, by the way. Although Joel's still there, Joel's still around, but you got Jonah over here and Emily. But I just got this today. They said it was going to be a little late. Oh, wow. That's kind of neat. Season 13 greetings from the Satellite of Love. Thanks for giving us another chance to do what we love. We're grateful for your trust and support. See you in the Gizmoplex from the Satellite of Love. That's right. So, yeah, I and about, I think it was 38,000 backers for is it a radio thing podcast? No, it's Mystery Science Theater 3000, which they were riffers from 88 to 98. They were on, and then Netflix had them for 2 seasons. That's right. It must have come from the not so distant future. So I was that literally came here when I got home from work. That was nice. All right. Let's see. Some monkey related news. Now I have to apologize. I originally was shooting for having a special episode tomorrow about the belated birthday in heaven for Mike and Davey. And unfortunately, I just really kind of want to give it a few more days. And I'm going to be off for most of the first week of January. So I really would like to take that time to be able to dive into my collection and maybe talk about some personal stories. But saying that, I will give you a little bit of solo monkey related news. Okay. Number one, let's see. Do I still happen to have, I know you guys are probably sick of seeing it, but I got so much shit here. Literally. Okay, maybe I moved it. Sorry. So earlier in the year, Different Drum, the RCA recordings, the Lost RCA recordings, came out on CD back in March. Real Gone Music has just announced this week that in July of 2022, I don't know why it's going to take so long, but July 2022, it will be put out on vinyl. So there will be barring anything stupid, a new old NES vinyl. So that'll be really nice. So that's the one thing. The second thing is, and 7A. Yes, we're talking about that famous label. What number's this chip? 7A, which of course they do excellent in the solo monkey recordings, and every monkey has been represented now, which is great. Supposedly, some long lost album that never got released from about 25 years ago. So 95, 96, okay? The tapes have been found, but they're not mentioning who or what the material is yet. I'm assuming maybe January, February. Yeah, yes, I am actually. Yeah, well, that's probably true too, Tim, because God knows who they're getting for that. All right. I apologize. I have new subs, but I didn't have a chance to do shout outs. We'll do that in the next episode. So I got one album from Goodwill a few days back. Okay. I think I showed this briefly on somebody's stream from late 1966 on Angel Records, which is one of the classical arms of EMI. West Meets East with Ravi Shankar. This is the only vinyl I managed to find. It is in near minty shape, and it's really nice. I have had some Ravi Shankar from World Pacific label, if I remember correctly, and I do happen to have some Apple stuff. I do. I've got I think it's the Raga, and I've got that other album with Ali Khan, I think, from 72. When I come across them, I'll show them in a future episode. So I'm going to put an invite up. And whoever would like to kindly come up for a little bit. Now, I do, like I said, I'm sorry, but I had to get up for work early. So 11 p.m. Central Standard is my cutoff for this evening. So, but anybody that wants to come on board for a little while I mentioned about the Paul McCartney mom thing. Oh, I didn't know there was an album. That would be kind of neat, actually. I'll tell you the one thing, Nick, that I really kind of kicked myself in the ass for, but they wanted a bit too much. There was a BBC record I found a couple years ago having to do with Doctor Who. And I'm a big Doctor Who fan. Old school, though. I saw the captain on Stoner's channel, thought I was in a time warp. Oh, boy. Oh, okay. Douche Gramophone Ravi record. That's pretty cool. So, awesome. So, all right. Anybody on the usual suspects that wants to come up on here? Gladly do so. You all know who you are. And you know what? I promise, not only will I'm going to make an additional promise to you people. And I don't make promises that often. I don't. Okay? So, not only are my broadcasts always powered by coffee each and every time, but I also will promise to you, I swear by the moon and no, I swear I will not pass out and fall asleep for over an hour while my live stream's going. I promise you that. I promise you I won't do that on Psycho's Bladders. Would that be all right with everybody? I hope so. All right, Davey, with the whole Reader Digest. It would be funny if there was Reader Digest box sets of thrash music. Would we want to hear them? I don't know. That would be like an edited episode of The Sopranos on regular television where it would last 3 minutes. Well, that'd be too kind of you. Yes, and oh, here we go. I knew that this was going to be one of the first of my usual suspects. I also expect kindly some other people to pop on by. You know who you are. You are.
They'll be on to roast me. They'll be on to roast me.
What's that?
They'll be on to roast me in a minute.
Why not? Hey, I'll tell you, no respect at all. Rodney Dangerfield, rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Richard, it's okay. That's right. No pass out. Spoiler alert. I couldn't I'm sorry. I couldn't believe it. Now, I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. Everybody gets tired. I just couldn't believe that, though. I'm like, I'm trying to think here. Sure, I've passed out after having a few. I just never did it on live cam. That's all. You got to pace yourself. People have to pace themselves.
Oh, he's done that tons and tons and tons of times before.
Pace yourself. I usually pray before dinner, but when my ex-wife cooks, I pray after dinner. Yes, well, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all on that there, sir. Rodney was funny in just about everything. Caddyshack, I loved. Back to School, I loved. His last movie, I think, if I remember correctly, was Ladybugs, which was a very weird-ass film about him coaching a girls soccer team. He's in it. Kirstie Alley's in it. There's like one or two. And I'm going, what was the budget on this damn film? Because there mustn't have been. Hello, Mr. Allen. You still look good in your awesome hair. I am so overdue. Look at all this. I mean, give me about another week and I'll look like Larry Fine. Except I won't know how to play the violin. I can do this, though. Oh, remember he did that on one scale.
Oh, Paul. Oh, Richard.
Hey, Tim, how you doing?
I wanted to show you these since they just got mentioned. This is the
Don't
first
panic.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy album. And this is the second Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy album.
Hitchhiker.
Awesome.
And they're basically the
Awesome.
original BBC radio plays, I believe. That's what they are.
I have come across, I maybe should have got them at a Goodwill. This was a couple months ago. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't have money or something. I found a handful of Fire Sign Theater. I should have got, like, No Bozos on the Bus was one of them. I can't remember the others. And I was like, see, here's the thing with comedy records. Okay, I love the material, but I'm only going to listen to it once every few years.
Yeah.
That is dust.
Yep.
Well, thank
but those
you,
are good. If you ever see them, it's like I said, it's basically the BBC radio plays, and they're very good.
Nice, very, very nice. I love all that stuff from over there. You know, and you know, I gotta thank, you know, I said about the title being Paul McCartney and My Mom. So let me get a little bit to the mom portion here. My mom was very, I want to say very open with my love of comedy. Okay, when I was growing up, I used in Chicago PBS station channel 11 WTTW on Saturday nights. I'd get to watch Monty Python, followed by there was a show called The Goodies, which very few people seem to bring that one up, but I do. I remember that. Dave Allen at Large. And then to end it all, which wasn't English, but that's how I discovered Ernie Kovacs, because those kinescopes survived. So that's how I got some of the British humor, and I maybe only got the physical comedy more than the verbiage. But as I got older, I'm going, oh my God, now I get it. It was like one of those duh look. But I really do appreciate a lot of English humor. But saying that though, Richard, for example, I know you like Mr. Bean, if I remember correctly, right? Are you the one that likes Mr. Bean? Yeah,
No.
I don't get it. No?
Me?
Who the hell do I know in the VC that likes Mr. Bean?
Not me. Hello, Rachel.
I don't know.
I like what I've seen,
Thank
but I haven't
you.
only ever seen a show or two. But I like all those British shows from like the 70s and late 60s and 70s. There was one that used to be on where I lived called The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin. Did you ever see that one? That was a hysterical show.
The Fall and Rise of what?
The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin. He was
Never
this
heard
guy
of that.
who was successful and he hated it. So one day he takes all his clothes off and runs into the sea, and everybody thinks he's drowned, and he comes back is someone else, pretends he's someone else. And it doesn't matter what he does in his life, it repeats. He winds up marrying the same woman. He gets successful again.
Oh my God.
he can't not be successful. It is very funny. And at the end of every season, he runs back into the sea and starts all over again the following season. But it doesn't matter.
It's like Groundhog Day, except more stretched out. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like Groundhog Day, but more stretched out.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not every day isn't the same, and he tries different things. Like he comes up with this store called Grot, because the British expression grotesque, and he sells horrible, useless things. And of course, it becomes a big fad and trend, and everybody shops at Grot, no matter what he does.
Yeah,
it was a very, very funny show, and it's not widely seen. I saw it up Borders Books on VHS once, a long, long time ago, and I would have bought it, but it was probably like $40 for the VHS. It wasn't cheap, so I didn't buy it. I've never seen it again.
All that BBC stuff is like, expensive. Now, saying
Yeah.
that though, the Fayetteville, Arkansas Barnes and Noble, very
Mhm.
impressive BBC section. I try to go in there at least once every other month and try to see, ooh, I don't know this, don't know this. So I make my little lists. Also,
Wow.
Faulty Towers just came into my head. I watched that too back in the day, and I liked that.
I've got that on Laserdisc, the complete.
Oh, there
Faulty
you
I'm going
go.
to
There you go.
I'm going to Barnes and Noble. I'm going to
My
Barnes
Barnes
and
and
Noble.
Noble pretty much only has books. They have a small little record section on 2 tables, so that tells you how small it is. And they carry about 10 CDs, maybe 20, and 10 movies, and that's it. It's pathetic.
Yeah, that sounds like mine, Tim. My Rogers, Arkansas location
Yep.
sucks. It's like I gotta go to town. How are you?
Good.
Hey, Flyer.
Hey,
I
guys.
think I mentioned you before.
Yeah. It's been a while, but
Yeah. No, I'm going to go to Barnes and Noble more because I want to look for that Jim Morrison book and for the Robbie Krieger book.
you
I'm
never
so
know what's
glad
going to be
that you
there.
brought up
Oh,
Barnes and Noble. You see, because this is where that part comes in. Paul McCartney and My Mom. He had a fling. No, he did not have a fling with my mother. But neither. Now my mother's gonna go, Paul. My mother
How much Paul McCartney?
picks awesome gifts. She does. She's got a knack for getting me things I've never had musically before.
Let me take a guess
So
what that is.
Hold on a minute. What did my mother get me for
The
Christmas?
lyric.
I was going to say, I've got a guess as to what that is.
Yeah, I do too.
The lyrics.
Yep.
How do I know?
Yep.
I don't have it yet. I need
love
it.
my mother. I do. For a minute, I thought that's Dusty. Here he comes.
People.
But I haven't opened this. I know there's been a lot of unboxings on this, but if you'll allow me, I'd like to show a couple pages.
Oh
Then we
yeah,
can
please
all
show a couple pages. I haven't seen any of it.
I couldn't listen. I'll tell you something. I felt bad. I really felt bad this time though, because I'm like, I'm not going to show you. Invoice was in there. I'm going, Mom. I'm like, you didn't need to. And she's like, I like treating my son once in a while. I still feel bad. All right, who's the Russian? Who's the Russian that? Oh, I like Nick's comment. Hang on a minute. Nick says, I bought 12 variants of the book. Give me a second.
Yeah, there's yellow one with yellow pages and one with pink pages.
Oh, geez. Is this like McCartney 3 where there's like 70 variations of it? Or is that?
No, there isn't. No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, it was a joke.
Okay. I'll be real. I've never been huge into like the Beatles solo stuff, so like I don't know. I don't dislike it. It's just not. You understand?
I need that book though.
Let me tell you truthfully. One of the first Christmas gifts I got when I was a teenager that was Beatle book related, and I couldn't believe. I don't even know how they knew. But the older Beatle fans will remember this. The 2-volume complete Beatles. Remember that book from the 80s? Because based on the documentary.
Yeah, I remember. It was like
there
a dictionary or an encyclopedia.
So is that tied in with the documentary that was narrated by Malcolm McDowell, that Complete Beatles?
It was from 82.
Oh, okay, before my time. So
I need that.
Okay.
I need that book.
So,
I need that book. I don't
I
want
love how
to.
I hope you guys will allow me to make me big for a few minutes, okay? I'll try
Yeah,
to be
please
short.
go ahead.
But because I'm
Yeah,
showing
like I said,
things, I
please,
thought I
like
would
I
do
said,
this.
like I said, please go ahead because I haven't seen any of this book. So
There's this minute Ivor said. Okay, so obviously this is what the front looks like. I'm waiting for Nick to disappear here. Not you, Nick, literally, but this post. There we go. Okay. So we got this for the front. The back looks like this. This is the page that was behind this, just basically explaining it. 2 volumes. There's good old Becca's face. A through K. First volume looks like this on the front. This on the back. Oh, here's a nice. Here's what you go into. Okay.
okay, I'm liking it so far.
Oh, I like this. Here's your picture from the high C moon sleeve, which is shown next to it
Okay.
too.
Yep.
Good.
C moon. C moon. And I like this though. I mean, there's this scribbles. Okay. I mean, okay. So I'm not gonna lie. I remember seeing this when it out in the Barnes here. There's a special place. If you buy it from there, you get a free tote. It's like the same thing with the Get Back book. You get a tote from Barnes if you get either of those. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, but it was this, okay? And I mean, it is nice and sturdy in here. It's not a cheap affair, that's for sure. Here's like the lyrics to Goodbye, Dear Mary Holland, which I know you guys have heard the demo, and I like that demo. Okay, here is what appears to be a Beatles press conference. I'm assuming maybe 65. I'm just guessing.
Would you say that this is worth the money?
Yeah. Oh, hey, here we go. Here's a photo that we would pretty much know about from over Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh.
And of course, that whole twofer comes literally after the lyrics to Get Back, which then everything has a story to it right afterwards. It mentions, of course, who wrote it, what album, what timeline, when was it released? Was it an album or a single? This
and
one here.
It's got like backstory for each of the things.
It's just a lead sheet for Wings photo shoot from 78. Speaking of Wings stuff, I know that a lot of us, here's a nice one. This one here this is a picture of John from the White Album's photo sessions for the White Album. It is a nice book, Richard. I'll tell you that right now. There's one I've never seen before. Okay, so the one on the left I've seen before, and so have most of you. Okay. I've never seen this one. That's nice.
Whoa.
So that's from the first volume. So let's take a dive into the second real quick. And then I'll get off of this topic.
So Paul, you would say that this is worth you would say that this is worth the money?
Look, you love Macca. This book.
Yeah. Yeah, I do love Mac, and I need the book, but I don't want to spend that money for it.
Well, who wants to do that?
then here's what I'm going to tell you. Nobody especially Richard. I'm not, I don't like it either. And I'm very grateful for God. I this is like truthfully one of the best gifts I think she ever gave me. Some of the previous stuff that she's given me in the past, like I've got a Goldmine subscription for a year coming up. I have it was the Woodstock movie box set. It came with a I wish I had it over here. I'd show you. It came in shit. I want to say like a bongo, but not quite. I don't understand. I don't know if I'm explaining myself right, but it came in this kind of a package, and it had tons of unreleased previous Woodstock footage from bands that just signed on. Oh, here we go. I do not know who William D. Kooning is. Something tells me an author or an artist. Picture from the early 80s. He says, often when I write a song, I do a bit of a disappearing trick myself. For example, I imagined it having been recorded by someone else, in this case, Ray Charles. As usual, the last thing I'd want to be writing is a Paul McCartney song. This is a strategy for keeping things fresh. Unfortunately, explain what song I'm talking about. Oh, wow. Okay. A drawing that he did. I'm a big Buddy Holly fan, and he is too, because he bought all the songs. Buddy Holly at 60.
Ooh.
He would have aged nicely. Oh, here we go. With Jimmy McCullough, Abbey Road, Studio 77. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow, another picture I don't think I've ever seen. 61. With Pete.
Oh, hold on.
Cool.
And
I
on a
have
record
a
Beatles
Beatles.
point, on the record collecting standpoint, I didn't know this existed. Salib D, I'm assuming that's a capital Canada? Am I wrong?
Yeah, it would have to be
Little
Canada.
capital Canada numberings.
Yeah.
But
I would love to have that.
that picture, I have a Beatles at the BBC Bootleg, and that's on the cover with Pete Best.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen that picture before.
Really, that one?
Yeah, here I'll get it when you
Here's
switch back.
Hamburg 1960. Hamburg 1960. He said nobody wanted to be the bass player in those days because it was always the fat guy playing bass. There seemed to be a sort of stigma attached to it. Anyway,
There's still
I bought
a
Hofner
stigma to being the bass player.
thing.
A little bit different now.
Appealed to me because being left-handed, I knew I was going to turn it upside down. Its symmetry was a big attraction for me, and it was light as a feather. Oh, here's a nice little promo pic for Silly Love Songs. And what's wrong with that? I see I lost Richard. He got all excited.
Uh-oh.
He's like, I gotta buy that book. Oh, here's a pic of John from 61 on the Paris trip. Never seen this one. He just looks so relaxed. I'll leave you with one last one. So this picture is Joe English and Denny Lane and all at the Speed of Sound Sessions, Abbey Road, 1976. And for part two, this is the front, and that's the back. The front has got the lyrics to Yesterday, and then the back has got Maybe I'm Amazed. So I'm very grateful. I mean, I love my mom, but like I said, she really comes up with these awesome gifts. But, you know, I am so behind in all of my book writing. You know that, or excuse me, book reading, that I have barely touched the surface on that monkey book. I'm still working on that. So I'll be having a lot of reading. And that's okay with me.
Did you buy? Did
See,
you buy
that's
the?
how
Did you buy the
my
lyric book,
mom
Tim?
are connected. Huh?
Did you buy the lyric book, Tim?
I can't hear you. Are you talking to me? Did I buy it, Richard? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Monkeys book, I got it too. I've looked through it a bit. It's ridiculous. The amount of stuff that's in it. Like they even have a whole bit that covers the Penny Arcade sessions. Like Mike Nesmith produced a band in 1968, and there was like pictures and like session notes and stuff in it. I'm like, that's like such a tiny thing, but it's just impressive, that book. It's crazy.
I only what was it? I think it was only during the publicity for that book, Tyler, did I come across that Penny Arcade that you're speaking of. I don't know if that album ever got released, and if it did, I need to find it so I
No,
can
so
add it to my.
right. So here's the deal with that. They didn't. It Mike couldn't find them a record deal, so it got shelved in '68. Sundays released it on CD in 2004, and in 2014 it was a record store day release. As of now, it's out of print again. But what?
No, I just said ooh. I think something tells me I'm gonna.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna have to look for at least the CD release on that.
Good luck.
It'd probably be a hell of a lot cheaper. Yeah,
no,
I know.
No, it's the other way around.
Weirder shit though.
I believe you, but the record store day album is cheaper than the CD. Believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those Sundays releases from around that period are like the choir. The choir's from around that.
Oh man, that's what I wish I had, and I don't.
Easily over $100, easily for the choir CD.
Before I forget, I was talking about I got that Beatles thing. Here's that cover with the picture.
Oh, yeah. Let me make you big for a minute.
Sure. Whoop, other way. But yeah, it's a bootleg at the BBC, and it's got, Pete Best.
Nice.
Yeah, the first two, those two sessions that they did at the BBC with Pete, the audio quality is not good, so it's not on that big release they did, the Beatles at the BBC. It's everything after that, but they're on this bootleg, so it's kind of cool.
I've got the first Beatle at the Beeb. I don't have the second, the BBC 2. That seemed to get released and then disappeared pretty damn quickly. Because by the time I tried to get it, it was gone. I couldn't damn find it anywhere. And I don't know what extra material.
Oh, there's a ton on it. And they also, at the same time, they remastered one. And one's better. They added a couple more tracks to the first one. And there's actually a little bit of separation between the tracks, which I liked. So it's not so boom, boom, boom as songs go. They actually end, and then I have them both on CD and vinyl.
Nice. I would love to get them on vinyl, but for the moment, I'll settle for, because I don't know how much that goes for on vinyl anyway. But I mean, I had that BBC. I think it was 94. Came out in 94, and I bought it brand new. The first one back. I remember that was a big thing. They rolled out that, I don't know if it was a 45 or an EP. I can't remember. And I'm like, holy shit, Beatle vinyl. I'm like, that just surprised me. And I bought that too at the time. And I don't know where the hell that EP went. I found my Free as a Bird 45. I found that, but I can't find that EP that I got.
I have that. The Baby It's You EP. There's 4 songs on it. maybe a
Yeah.
few boys.
Yeah, that's it, Tim. That's right.
And two more. Devil in Her Heart, maybe, and one more. I can't remember. I have it somewhere.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And I have it on CD too. They released it on CD as well.
Krishna.
Ivor says that your shirt, sir, is epic.
Thank
Tyler.
you.
Paul, here's an
Oh,
interesting
man.
story I have about the She Loves You Sleep Dig 45. I was working in a record store,
Yes.
not my usual record store that I worked at a long time ago, but another one, helping a guy out. And the guy brought in a pile of 45s. And the guy that I was working for is behind the counter, and he's looking through them, and he sees "And I Get You" on Swan. Well, I'm on the other side of the counter, and he looks at it, and he just sets it down and goes, and I'm on the other side of the counter, and I'm trying to keep a straight face. I don't want to say anything, but I'm like, I'm hoping he's buying this. And he goes to the rest, and he gives them a price, and they settle and everything. And the guy leaves, and I'm like, John. And he's like, what? And I'm like, look at the Beatles 45. He's like, why? I'm like, look at it. And he picks up and looks at it, and it was Sleep Dig, I'll Get You. Not She Loves You, I'll Get You. And he's like, holy shit. I'm like, you saw that? I'm like, yeah. It's the only one I've ever seen. The only copy of Sleep Dig I've ever seen on 45 is.
Did you buy it?
He sold it. I'm sure he got a lot of money for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just working for him. But the only copy of I didn't even know it existed on 45.
Yeah, Beatles is not my
And it
forte,
was.
so I don't know about the rare stuff when it comes to the Beatles.
See,
But I
it's,
know that they can get pretty pricey.
it's crazy
Yeah.
that stuff turns up in like a pile of seemingly like the pile of things that seems like there's nothing in it, and then you find something. That's crazy, you know?
Yeah, I've heard the stories of people finding stuff at Goodwill for like 29 cents. Ends up being a record worth like $100.
Oh yeah, I found a stereo copy of the first P.F. Sloan album and the dollar bin at Half Price Books. That's like a $50 to $60 album. I couldn't believe it. I almost screamed. Like,
Yeah, believe me, if I found something rare,
I
I'd be
wish.
like done.
you
I wish
and
we had
that's the
half
thing.
price
Is,
books down here.
what's that, Paul?
I wish we had half price books down here because Tyler, every time I go to the ones in Illinois and in the Northwest Illinois, I always find something. The last trip I went up there, I'm big into for the last few years for 45s wise, I'm big into Northern Soul. Okay, I just love the way it sounds, and I have found some medium rare Northern Soul 45s. And when I found them, was in two different half price books for 49 cents a crack. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, right. I'll take those.
Yeah. Yep.
And you know, for me, it's kind of cool too, because like when I'm going through like the dollar bins and the discount or whatever, it's like I'll take a chance on this. If I don't like it, you know, I'm not losing a lot of money and I can trade it. So it's just kind of a fun way to check things new out, check new things out on the cheap.
See, I wish we did. I think there's some in Oklahoma, but I want to say it's Oklahoma City. So Jeff Kendall would know that answer more than me. He lives out there. Randy says, hi, Paul and all. At least I trolled Brian so bad just now. He came off. No mic to remove me. He was
But
moaning
he's
why
still
people make
alive?
videos about me. Why can't I go on what?
Wait, he's still alive?
What was that?
Wow,
No,
that guy's got
it's
staying
on
power.
another screen right now.
Yeah. You know what? If he's then he needs to not get a clue. That's what he needs.
Yeah, B-side
I
is
take
on
it this
screen
is
right
some
now. He's
drama
trying to
that's
get in.
going on. I have no idea.
Oh, you don't want to know his channel, Slider. You don't want to know his channel. He's basically, just to say, for layman terms, a drunk man who misses his mommy.
Okay. Yeah, that's a red flag enough. I'm good.
And his girlfriend broke up with him. So yeah, go figure. Okay, yeah, you're better off. You're better off not watching the channel. But you know what? A lot of his viewers, they don't even comment. They just tune in just to see what he'll say about them. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
Train wreck.
I'm guilty.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
watching a
guilty,
car
but
accident,
yeah,
kinda like looking
you're
at
not
it,
big
kinda like
enough,
this.
I guess,
You know,
or
you shouldn't be
relevant
looking
enough,
at it.
Slider, for him to talk about you.
I haven't.
Which is a good thing.
That's fine. I haven't made a video in like 2 years. And I probably won't.
Well, Dusty's got you beat. He hasn't made a video in 4 years.
Okay.
I have live streams though at least.
Someone.
Yeah.
I'm hearing
Yeah.
that too. I'm hearing a
Yeah,
echo.
someone's got 2 screens up somewhere.
Do I? No,
It's
I
not
got
me.
Google.
I'll tell you
I
that.
got Google. I got Google Drive. Is that going to cause it to?
No, it should be. It'd be like
And
if
I
there was
got
another.
Twitter. I got Twitter too
Okay,
because I'm doing
I had
something.
my other screen up. I was doing YouTube.
Twitter is a toxic hellhole, but it's not the cause of our problems right now.
No, Twitter's not a toxic hellhole to me. I think it's more like YouTube now is.
If you like it, good for you. I've seen some things.
Well, you know what? You know what? Nobody has said anything to me, so I'm.
Oh no!
quite content.
I don't mean this in any personal way, Lisa. Don't
No, no, no,
misunderstand.
no. But YouTube. Oh, people have
Yeah.
said some shit to me on YouTube. That's why I'm like, fuck you, YouTube. Fuck you. But, yeah. You know, Twitter, I guess it's because my account is small to the point. Well, I have one account that's big, and I've seen some toxic stuff on that account. That account has 3,200 people following it. Yes, I run an account with 3,200 people following me. Don't ask. But yeah, that account, I have gotten my fair share of crazy messages. Most of the times, I just ignore it.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
And hope that they die down.
Good, Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess
But
he
but yeah, get back to my original point. You know, he just talks about the popular channels. He just goes at them, and
Well,
that's what he does.
yeah, and he's probably doing that to grow his own profile and get.
No. His profile isn't going to grow. I don't think.
I know, but I mean, like,
But
I
he's
know
trying.
people do that for that reason.
He's not Joe Rogan.
I know, but never mind.
Yeah. Oh, of course, I understand what you mean. That people will do those kind of like controversial videos to get themselves out there.
And like, of all things to do that, we're just here talking about records on the internet. Like, what does this have to do with drama, man? It's like, oh, I don't.
Right.
Like,
but you know the thing about it, I will give him one. I'll give him a little bit of props because even though I don't care, the guy when he plays music, the guy plays good music. The guy knows his music. I'll give him that kind of.
Yes.
I'll give him that. When he plays his music, he has good music taste. I enjoyed the music. If he would just stick to it.
I mean,
he was playing the Black
Keys.
Keys. He was playing the Black Keys like a few weeks back, and the Black Keys are very good, especially their older stuff. We'll forget that they kind of went poppy with their later albums, but yeah. So you'll be surprised. The drama Slider has been happening since forever, since 2016.
that's a long time.
Well, because there was like a guy. There was a guy who got really angry because Bobby Z had an auction. Well, Bobby Z had a lottery, and he didn't get all the records he wanted, and he made like a really big stink about it. Yeah, that's right, a grown ass man.
Right, I didn't win, so therefore it's a conspiracy.
No, he won, but
he
apparently one of them did not send him the record, and it was a long time ago. Long time ago.
I was gonna say I don't remember that shit.
And then there was Peaches and Andy's Vinyl Den.
I used to follow Andy. He did a contest.
Andy, Peaches and Andy's Vinyl Den. They had a little thing going with each other, and then there was. That's all I remember. So there wasn't really much drama back when I was Now it's like every week. I'm like, I want to go back to 2016.
Yeah.
I want to go back to when everybody was just talking about music and not putting other people down.
Best who won't dwell on it, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm gonna play some White Stripes later, man.
Nice.
I got this White Stripes greatest hits.
Well, moving forward, where is it? I got a thing here.
Yes.
Did anybody else get the new Deep Purple album?
No.
Oh, hang on a minute. I want to see that, please. Give it. Let me make it big. I want to get that actually. You brought it up last time, I think.
Yeah, I'm just a Deep Purple fanatic, but I mean, it's okay. Not their best, not their worst. Before you switch that back, you know what I did get recently too, because they were like on sale on Amazon. Let me find this. I picked up. I had never listened to this one before. The Battle Rages On.
Ooh,
honestly,
right.
Probably their most underrated album, because everything I read, people were talking crap about it. I actually really like it. Last album
that was last, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From got that one.
93.
Yep.
Ah.
And this is the first
I like Perpendicular.
Yeah, this is the first one with Steve Morse. It's pretty good, but I don't know. It kind of dragged a bit. I don't know how to explain it. I think Battle Rages On kept my attention a lot more. So
yeah.
I saw some Deep Purple at the thrift store. Almost picked it up.
That was the only Deep Purple concert I saw was with Morse. They did a damn good job. It was 2003, I think. So John Lord was already retired, and Don Airey was in.
Yeah, so that's the current Mark 8 lineup. Yeah.
But yeah, that Perpendicular, I remember that at least up in my area, they play Vic the Mechanic. They played that semi-frequently. Yeah, that's right. Jethro Tull come out in January, but I don't understand. Can anybody tell me what went down between Ian Anderson and Martin Barr as to why those two are not together for the last, what's it been, 10, 15 years?
I never got into Jethro Tull. I don't dislike them, but something about bands I really like, there's a hook, and I just haven't had it with Jethro Tull yet. I'm not giving up, but
I have a few Jethro Tull albums in my collection. I have a few. I think I have Aqualung, I have Songs from the Wood, and I have Thick as Brick. That's the only ones I have.
I've got Stand Up and Passion Play. I think I found that in a dollar bin, so I'm like, I know the name.
Right. This was good.
Yeah.
What was that, Paul?
What did you say,
This
Paul?
was, which was the first album. That one was good too. That was more blues based. And then between This Was and Stand Up, you could definitely tell the difference.
I had to redo something because the Google form wasn't working. So I had to go repost everything again. I was like, I didn't even know. I had it up there for months. And someone just informed me the Google form isn't working. I was like, for something I was doing, I had to redo the Google form to make sure people could reply to it.
Is Mayo on break?
No, I
think.
I think he's taking a break.
I think
something's going on. I don't know what it is.
Might have to do with a situation. That's probably why. That's my speculation.
Ooh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, I have a copy of Burn, but that'd be interesting. Would it'd probably be Glenn Hughes is the one who'd sign it, right?
Yeah, there you go.
That would be my guess. I don't know. I mean, it's either him or Coverdale, because it sure as hell ain't Richie Blackmore.
Nope.
Oh boy.
You know, some of those bigger names.
I heard the funniest thing. There was somebody interviewed Ian Gillan, and like they were talking about, like, would you ever work with him again? And, like, Ian's like, Richie lives in the world of Greensleeves now, and he's kind of hard to contact. And I thought that was the funniest thing, because Blackmore's nice. I get it. But just the way he phrased it was really funny to me. I mean, at least they don't want to murder each other anymore, because I read a thing when Blackmore left in 93. He's like, I'd rather slit my throat than ever play with Purple again. Like, shit, dude. Holy crap.
Somebody's pissed.
Yeah, well, that is Richie Blackmore. Richie Blackmore is the kind of guy who'll tell you to fuck yourself, and he'll mean it. Pardon my language, but I mean that gets the point across. You know.
Well, Paul, I gotta drop.
Yeah.
Macho Man. I gotta go help with the groceries and bring them in.
Okay.
You're back on in the next like 20 minutes or so. I'll probably jump back on. So if you see me disappear, I will be back. If you guys will be on, can you hear me?
Your audio's really low, man.
Really
He says
low?
he's
Okay,
putting groceries away.
Okay.
Okay. How about
Oh, okay.
now? Can you hear me? Is my mic working now, or is it still kind of low?
Yeah, it's still pretty low, man.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll fix it when I come back. I'll
Okay,
see you
man,
in a
cool.
little bit. All right, bye.
It just reminds me of something random I saw on TikTok. I saw Smashing Pumpkins making a tribute for Gerard Way, and I was like, that is so random. Smashing Pumpkins has an official TikTok. Here I see a tribute video to Gerard Way, and I'm like, what the heck is going on with Smashing Pumpkins?
I'm an idiot. Who's Gerard Way?
Yeah.
Oh, he's from My Chemical Romance.
Oh.
That's my generation. Well, I was probably about 24, 23 when they became big, and I remember playing that album all the time. So, yeah, I was a big My Chemical Romance fan. I'm still kind of pissed off at the fact that I couldn't get tickets to their LA show. Yeah. Anyways,
So
but
I
you
have
know.
a Billy Corgan story from here in Rogers, Arkansas.
Ooh, Billy
This
Corgan.
happened 2019, so it was pre-COVID when they did their last tour, when it was the 3/4 original lineup tour. Okay, and Smashing played the amp here in town, and I guess it was like 3/4 sold out. And Billy, I guess, because I remember this, Billy stayed in town for another day. Okay. And so we have this antique mall that's on the edge of Rogers Bentonville. Okay. And I go there. I try to go once a month. But right in the middle of the whole mall is the biggest vinyl booth. I mean, this thing takes up 3 booths. Okay. And he's got centerpieces and posters. And I mean, so somebody, I'm guessing, must have told Billy about this, and he's just in there. He's in there shopping. He's looking around. Him and his handler. He had a handler. So they're looking through all the albums, and I got this story because I know the lady behind the counter because she was there that day. So she would check every so often. Can I help you? Need anything? No, I'm doing good, but thanks. He's being real quiet and polite. So he buys about close to like $250 worth of records, like a big stack coming out. So he gets to the counter and he's paying for it. He's getting ready to pay for it. And I guess another one of the regular customers who had an autistic, we're going to say not, like 6, 7-year-old for the sake of the story. Okay. Because I was a youngin'. Goes off and the kid doesn't know Billy from Adam, and he goes and blurts out, "Can I hug you?" to Billy as he's getting his stuff, and the handler and Billy's like, and he goes and he hugs that kid for about a minute or two. And he's like, basically says to the effect, like, I hope you have a great day. It's something like it's worth it. It's, in other words, positive stuff. And the kid was like, I guess, beaming, this biggest smile, like it was Christmas.
Wow.
And then he's like, I said, everybody take care, and off they went. But I just
Sure.
thought that was really funny that he, like I said, this is only like a couple minutes from my house that he
Yeah.
stopped over there.
Yeah, and it's cool to know that like for
Very low
some
profile.
people, fame doesn't go to their heads.
Yeah.
Some people they remain normal. Nice.
Yeah, like Keanu Reeves. I always see interviews with Keanu Reeves, and he's the nicest person. And people have
Oh yeah, he's
backed it up saying that he's really nice, and they've met him. They've been on sets with him. So yeah,
he's
you know,
yeah.
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 Nobody has a bad thing to say about him. Like, there's people who have worked on his sets as caterers, people who have been extras in his movies, and even a person met Keanu Reeves in a elevator, and he was just the nicest dude ever. And I don't know if this is true, but somebody said they had a flat tire or something, and Keanu Reeves fixed their tire for them. I was like, well, dude, I will hope to run into Keanu someday.
Yeah, right.
He's one of the few Hollywood people I would like to meet. Yes, I've heard tons of nice things about Keanu.
I've heard from Richard that the guy from Cheers is a jackass. I don't know which one.
Did Richard share the picture of him and Norm with you, Lisa? Because he shared that with me on Messenger, and I'm going, I almost didn't recognize him. I'm like,
he looks so different. He looks so different.
Well, I cannot wait, like I said, until March. There's supposed to be some new guests announced sometime in the month of January for this Comic-Con, but so far, ladies and gentlemen, it's $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, Booker T, and Meredith from The Office.
I love The Office. That's one of my favorites.
I do too. Creed
I
was
love
the first
the
one we
UK
ever
version.
met.
I was about to say, I don't know if I told this story. I probably did. There was a bunch of people from The Office that came to the Comic-Con in Pittsburgh. And I never watched The Office. Yes, I know I should. I was the only person who went to Creed Bratton's booth because of the Grassroots.
Creed Bratton was in a band.
Right. Everybody's got like their Office posters and DVDs, and I'm just holding my copy of Feelings. And like, he didn't even react to it. He just kind of like grabbed it and signed it. And like, here, you want to pose for a picture? And like, it's a Comic-Con booth. You got to keep things moving. But I mean, I kind of thought maybe it's like, oh, this guy's a weirdo. Why isn't he here because of The Office, or something like that. But not those words. You know what I mean, though? I thought thered be some kind of reaction, but
maybe something he wanted to forget, because he probably did that in the past. He's like, no, I don't want to remember.
Well, that's what I listened to an interview with him, and like I said, I've never watched The Office, but he said something along the lines of, the character I play on The Office is what I would actually be like if I never left the band and kept doing drugs. So
yeah. I've listened to the Grassroots for a while, and then I was like, oh shit. He's in the band. And he's also
they're good, but I swear, like, after Midnight Confessions, just about everything went downhill for me. I mean,
every band has that moment. Every band has that moment when they're good, and then the 80s rolls around, and then they become kind of
they did an album in the 80s that was decent.
I only know a few songs of theirs. I'm not like a hardcore fan, but
I've
heard enough.
Some of those mid-70s ones are just really bland.
I mean, you had the disco era. That kind of did change some of the music. I am not knocking disco. I love a good disco song.
Who was it? It was Reed Kaling was in the Grassroots in the 70s. The guy from the Hardy Boys. Yeah. So, I'm just thinking when I think of something, all these trivia facts go through my brain all at once.
Yeah.
And then he ended up with Badfinger.
Yep.
Also, I hate to bring this up, sorry, but I tripped on something that I guess was on YouTube for a couple years, and I didn't know it existed until last night. It just came in my algorithm. And I didn't know that they made a TV appearance in '81 on the Merv Griffin show.
Is that when they played? That's when they played Hold On, right?
No. I Got You. I think that was the song. It was off of Say No More. It was whatever the single was.
Well,
And
single was Hold On.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Well, and then they released Because I Love You as a single, but that flopped.
That's it. I think that was it.
Okay.
So it was Joey, Tom, Tony K was playing the piano, and then I think the guitarist and the drummer were on the Say No More album. So I mean, it was a good couple minutes. It was a nice intro from Merv, and he showed the album, and then they went right into the tune. And and I did come across. Remember a couple streams back, I talked about the horror host in Milwaukee where they did the perform. It's on YouTube still. Just type in Badfinger, Milwaukee, Wisconsin horror program, and it'll come up. All of it'll come up. But yes,
I remember when they were on Solid Gold on that tour. That's the one.
Yeah.
Dionne Warwick introducing them. That's the performance I remember seeing. They did Hold On.
I saw that just like
maybe
you.
that's what I was thinking of then.
Yeah. It's a catchy tune.
So back to Tyler, to the Creed Bratton story. So you're just okay. So just like you said with the grassroots stuff, right? So when he came to Bentonville and he did that, it was half comedy, half music. And he played a couple grassroots stuff, and then he played a couple solo things. And then remember on the last episode where he's got the guitar and he's singing, I think from the in the last episode about the people in the office. There was a slightly longer version of that song, so he played it, which I thought was kind of cool. So I'm sitting here, and this venue is a very old venue, and it was called Meteor Guitar Gallery, but the theater opened up in 1903, and it was called the Meteor. It was a silent film theater in downtown Bentonville. This old building. So it got renovated, of course, and it can hold about 300 people and decent seating, and they do serve some booze. But we had a front row, me and my friend, Donna Jo Cat Lady, so we got to see Creed, and it was a great show. In fact, if you want to see a slice of it, here's my self-promotion. There's two... Yeah, there you go. There are two Creed mystery clips on such platters, but you got to go back. You're going to have to go down a little bit for the two clips. Oh, I knew the ins and outs of that venue, and I figured it out. Okay, there were a couple fans with 8x10s from The Office. They were waiting in the front, and we got ushered out. We waited around thinking, okay, Creed didn't do it. So Donna and I came out the front door, and I said to her, I went and walked around the side of the building. I saw Creed's car. He was driving this beautiful 60s car. I'm sorry, I don't remember it, but it had California plates. That's how I knew. And there was a van next to it, and it turned out that was where the equipment and the merch was. And I told Donna, I said, you know what? Let's just give this up. Let's go take a walk. Wink. So we walked to the back, and there's a little bench right by the back entrance where they got to come out. And I said, I bet you within 5 minutes, and I didn't even finish the sentence. And I heard him and one or two people come out. So I waited till he got around the corner, and I go, excuse me, Mr. Bratton, because I always try to be polite. And I had 2 grassroots albums. That's all I had. And he goes, sure, no problem. Let me put my stuff in the car, and okay. So I'm the only one that pretty much tortured him. And I got Donna some vinyl too, so he signed for her. And then I got a selfie with him, and he was totally cool. And then 2 minutes later, bing, gone, off to the next place. Now Meredith was supposed to be in University of Arkansas. I think it's Hot Springs. They've got in Hot Springs. They've got a place. Her and Jane Lynch, of all people. Jane Lynch has been around forever, but Glee, 2.5 Men. I don't know. She's been in a bunch of stuff. So they were doing a 2-person production. Was their last little tour before the COVID hit. And so that got squashed. They tried rescheduling, and then it got squashed. So then to see her go and like, oh shit, she's gonna be here. I don't even have to drive to Hot Springs. I only got to go a couple minutes. So yeah, I'm a nerd. That's one of my favorite shows I can watch over and over and over.
It's okay. There's a lot of nerds in the vinyl community. Yeah. I love the occasional Doctor Who. I could, binge watch that. Sherlock, the BBC version.
Okay, that is. I love that. That show is fantastic.
And Merlin. I don't know if you guys ever watched Merlin, but I've
seen a little bit of that. It was all right.
I watched the entire series because I don't know. I was so into that series back in the day.
Here's a good question. Not this one. Hang on. But I understand where he's going on that. So I'm an idiot. I think his name is Darren, right? I called him Randy on accident. Sorry. How do people collect on here? Do they start by getting all of their favorite artists' albums first, or do we just randomly collect eclectically all artists they like?
Yeah, it's kind of. It's focused, and then it's random, and then it's like, oh, I found this, Because, like, for me, I'll find one thing, and it'll link me in a million different directions. Like, I found Go Back by Krabby Appleton years ago. And then I'm like, okay, Michael Finelli was in The Millennium, and he wrote a song for Sagittarius, and like, okay, Power Pop is cool. I'll go over, and it's just like, it is a never-ending spider web, which is great for everything except for my wallet. So
yeah, totally. I think it's more or less of trying to find your favorite album on vinyl, whether you want an original pressing of it or you want to buy the reissue. And for me, it's sometimes I'm lazy. I know it's in arm's reach. I could pick up the Rolling Stones Some Girl. I know there's a reissue of it. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's like I want to find an older pressing of the album, and I just haven't found one that's decent enough for me to want to fork over the money for. So for me, I love collecting my favorite artists, but sometimes it's more or less trying to find that right pressing.
And you got to be careful too, because like I picked up a new reissue copy of The Piper at the Gates of Dawn by Pink Floyd, and it sounds horrible.
Trust me, I know that
says well. It's in mono, but I swear to God, they took the stereo and folded it down. It's disgusting.
I have a copy of Led Zeppelin 4 that's a reissue, and it doesn't sound that great. But I bought it like in 2016, and believe me, I know some of these reissues that they do, they sound like shit. And you start to wonder why they even bother reissuing it.
And there's some other things too. Like there's certain bands that only have like 1 or 2 albums that were never released on vinyl, and it's maddening.
Yeah, think about the 90s. The 90s, a lot of albums or the the 90s to the like early 2000s. There's a lot of albums that are not on vinyl. They're only on CD.
And then there's like somebody in, I don't know, South Korea made a limited 300 pressing bootleg of it, and it's like ridiculously expensive. So it's one of those things where it's like, it exists, but you can't have it because it's so expensive. Like the Beach Boys, and of course, of all ones, it would be Summer in Paradise, which is their god-awful worst album. It's the only album that Mike Love took control of. It's horrible. And there is one vinyl bootleg pressing from like 1993 in South Korea, and they go
Yeah.
for like $2,000. And it's like, I'd like to fill the gap on my shelf. I don't need it that bad, but
Oh
it's
No,
my
Mike
God.
loves telling you not to get.
and it's just like Deep Purple has this too. They had an album in the late 90s called Abandon that never got an official vinyl release, but there's bootlegs, but those go for like $2,000. It's like, nah, don't need it that bad.
You know,
But it's still
Slider,
irritating.
speaking of purple for 2 seconds, I kicked myself in the ass for this one. I didn't have enough money, and I went back the next day. This is a CD we're talking. I went to go get it, and it was gone. Can you take a guess what CD it was I found from the early O's?
Oh, was it one of their albums?
Uh-huh. Very
Rap
few
Sound-
got
Rap
printed
Sound-
out.
Oh, then I don't know.
Bananas.
Ow. Oh, that's
I
another one.
kicked myself in the ass.
That's
I
why
hear-
I always say buy it when
That's
you
one.
see it.
There is a vinyl release of that from France, but it's ungodly expensive. So like,
Yeah.
but it's like it's one of those ones that it's so limited that it almost doesn't exist at all. Like even a CD copy would be nice.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, it's a little bit of both, I think, to answer Darren's question. If I can just like, randomly find it, because sometimes there's artists that I love and they don't have it. And sometimes you'll come across it randomly, just add to your collection.
Mhm.
If I learn anything, Paul, if you see something you like, you should buy it because somebody will pick it up. There have been
But
many
it's called
regrets in
this.
my life.
If
Yeah,
I'm
right.
poor,
That's the problem.
No.
Yeah,
But
you
and I have gas and bills.
I know,
You
but what
can-
I'm saying is I've seen records for like cheap prices, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'll leave it on the shelf, and then I come back and it's gone, like $20.
Yeah,
$15.
it's a big balancing act.
But of course,
Yeah.
Paul, if it's too much money, I'm not going to be dropping $85.
You can
No.
find anything you want. Your pockets are deep enough.
Yeah, but one time I saw an album that I really loved, and it was $100, and I was like, no, I can't do that.
I think the most I ever spent on an album was either there's this power pop band from Australia called the Some Loves. I ordered a copy and I think it was like 90. It was either that or I have a Like Long Hair by Paul Revere and the Raiders. I think I spent maybe 100 on that, and that was the most I've ever done. Yeah,
100?
Uh-huh.
Wow,
yeah.
that's
But
that's 100's pretty.
I mean, it's a
That's-
lot, but for what that album is, it's only going to gain value on my shelf,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
The most I've spent is $50, and that's for Greta Van Fleet. And we're not going to talk about why I spent 50, but I did.
it's worth it to you. It's worth it to you.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah,
I spent $50. It's a live album that
Yeah.
they did from 4 of their concerts. So they did 4 different venues. They did LA, Nashville, Chicago, and I forgot the 4th one they did. But at the end of the day, if you love a record and you feel like it's justified to spend that money,
Sure.
like you did with the Paul Revere, then do it. You only live
and
once.
And it's one of those things too where sometimes it's like, I will never see this ever again.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
exactly.
it's not the best thing to do, but I'm going to do it. That's when I was out in Madison. There's a record store out there called Strictly Discs. It's the best record store I've ever been to. They had a copy of the Wigs album, which was Marty Ross's group before the New Monkeys. And I'm like, I am never going to see this ever again. And I got it. I think at 60 or 70 something.
Oh,
And now it's worth because I got them to sign it because I went to their reunion gig. So now I've made my money back for sure. Not that I'm in it to flip, but I mean, God forbid I have to get rid of it. It's worth more now than I spent on it, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, when I go to Amoeba, they're tempting me because they got all those rare 45s from like Japan. And I'm like, don't tempt me because they have a rare wall at Amoeba. And I've seen some really nice stuff on that wall that I was very tempted by, but I was like, no, Lisa. Save your money.
Don't do
I
it.
saw a rare Buddy Holly 45 for like $30. And I'm almost tempted to go back and get it. Just because. I was telling Richard about it.
Every day.
No, I was telling Richard I want to buy. Richard's first thing he said to me, buy for me. I was like, no.
No. Get out of here, man.
Get out of here, Richard. It's for me. Get out of here. Yeah, because I was like, dude, I like Buddy Holly too, dude. It was, I don't know if it's still there, but oh my God.
Okay, but like if that was I'm reading the comment. If that was the original, that is fair sticker price for that, I'd probably say.
I have never come across any Sid solo on vinyl, but saying that, a couple years ago here in town, on the edge of town, there was this place. They were known for having a whole bunch of stuff. So in other words, a junk store. And so this dude, he told me about the vinyl. I looked at the vinyl, nothing fancy. We'll bring up Reader's Digest. Somebody brought up Reader's Digest. They had that shit. But he goes off and he's like, but I have a lot of CDs. And I'm like, oh, please let me look. But the piece he me for. I'm pulling shit. My wife was with me at that time on one of my trips. She starts eye rolling. And I said, look, some of this is for you. So shush. So I'm pulling stuff. That's the only time I ever came across any Sid solo CDs. And these were UK imports. And this other stuff here was late 90s, but there was a 2-part Pink Floyd rarities bootlegs from Italy. And I buck up, I'm going bing, bing, bing. And they probably aren't worth anything now because all the shit's been released. But back then in the late 90s, I mean, we're talking about there was mid 60s, like 65, 66 radio appearances. I remember something about I'm a King Bee was one of the tracks. I'm going, it was good. And it was in nice quality. There was barely any sonic shitty on these double CDs for Floyd. And I'm like, this kicks ass. So but that's where I went and brought about the Sid. So he says he's got original pressing and what about Madcaps? Sorry, I'm trying to read.
Oh, see, yeah, if I see Sid stuff, they're all reissues because obviously that reminds me. I picked these up. I went down to the Get Hip warehouse in Pittsburgh, and it's like a record store. I got this Pink Floyd at the BBC.
Nice.
Hang on, I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it big.
Okay,
that's
there
nice.
you go.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So like, it's kind of cool to hear some cut back stuff on that because it's got like the gnome and all that, but it's without all the crazy production. I got this too. Sid Barrett's Radio 1 sessions at the BBC. These are really cool. So you've got like Gigolo Ant and Baby Lemonade and stuff like that. And
I love Gigolo Ant.
But it's
that's the first Sid I ever heard was Gigolo Ant.
Yeah, and it's like guitars and like bongos. Look up the sessions Sid did, solo sessions for the BBC, because it's the same songs, but it's a different take on it. It's actually really cool.
Awesome. I'm making you small. It's just I got a mixture of Ecuadorian, Argentinian internet today.
Yeah, I need more Pink Floyd. I only have 3 Pink Floyd albums in my collection.
My dad had a few of them, and I remember when I first got into like collecting records, I didn't really care for Soundtrack to More or Obscured by Clouds, and I traded them, and I have been kicking myself ever since. I kept the other ones he had, but
yeah,
oh well.
Yeah, I got into Pink Floyd I think a little late in life because one of my friends used to always play that song Money every time he I don't know, got money. He'd always play that song for me. And I guess that's my first introduction to Pink Floyd.
I remember
like 2005.
I was in 9th grade, and I saw the Dark Side of the Moon cover. I'm like, what is that triangle rainbow thing? So I looked into it, and then I found, another brick in the wall, and I'm in high school. I'm like, this is the edgiest, coolest shit I have ever heard in my entire life. So I had Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 as my ringtone, and it would go off in class. It was great.
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard Light My Fire when I was a little kid. I thought, wow, this is the greatest song I ever heard. I was probably about 10 or 11. Man, yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy how stuff sticks with you. It's just like, that was...
It does.
My dad had it's probably still around here somewhere, a Bird's Greatest Hits. And just the way that 12-string sounds, the Birds just changed my life, dude. I don't know how else to put it. I still practically worship them to this day.
They were all talented.
I have a German pressing, Nick. Fantastic. I have a German pressing of Relics that I found one time at the record store. Pretty cool.
Christopher. I don't...
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what Christopher was.
Yeah, I don't.
Forgive me, Alvin. You got me on that. I should know this, and I don't. Hi, Royce. I did catch your last broadcast. I can't remember when that was, but you were just ready to go off the air. That's why I didn't comment. I'm like, damn, I missed him. Good show to go catch when you can, guys. Go sub everybody here. But yeah, I mean, the Birds, oh my God. Roger McGuinn, all of them. Hillman, they Cross and Gene Clark. I mean, only now are they starting to get all the love, It only took 30, 40, 50 years. But that catalog holds well.
Yep, the Birds are great to have within a collection. I have a few Birds albums.
There's some... I understand the impact. I'm going to make a very bold statement here, and I have never gotten the hype for Sweetheart of the Rodeo. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't dislike it, but I just not my thing.
You're not the only one. I've heard other people say they didn't care too much for Sweetheart of the Rodeo.
I get it. Like, it was a big deal, but it's just like I wish they would have... Where they were going with Notorious Bird Brothers, just go that way. Yeah.
No, go ahead, Tim. Sorry.
No, it's just the beginnings of country rock, and that's why people,
Yeah.
between the International Submarine Band and a little bit of Monkees and the Birds, that was about it. That was country rock.
Yeah. You know who else I've actually unironically been really liking lately is Buck Owens. Buck Owens is really cool.
Yeah, I like Buck Owens.
I've got a lot of...
I like Buck Owens.
I've got a handful of Buck, but let me tell you something. This is kind of weird. I found 3 copies of this within a year here in town, all at the same Salvation Army. That's even weirder yet. So you're talking about couple months, boom. I have his first album, like way back, first album, like 1961. Yeah. And all of the copies were in the shrink with the price stickers on them. I ended up giving one to a friend. I found the mono and the stereo. I gave one to a friend, one I put in trade, and I have one copy left. Because I'm like, and that thing supposedly used to go for maybe not so much now, but it's a weird listen. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's a weird listen. It's not bad. It's 1961 Buck.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen him play live. Here's another kick in the ass moment. Roy Clark came here in the last year of his life. And the tickets were reasonable. It's just... I wanted the meet and greet because there was a separate, and it wasn't totally ridiculous. It's just something happened in my life that I was short of money. But I would have loved to have seen Mr. Pickeningren because I thought they were both excellent guitar players. They were both excellent musicians. And I'm sorry, okay, but Hee Haw just kicked them both up a bunch of notches, okay? And I love that damn show. And I know it's corn pone humor and all that other shit. I don't care. It was just, yeah, okay. That's probably where I got some of my bad jokes from. But that's how you got to see some of countries, you know, in the 70s and early 80s. You got to see some of those new artists or some of the classic artists and shit. And of course, Roy and Buck always did something. And I like the damn stuff. I like old country. I'd rather listen to old country up, you know, that's anything up to 1980. For some reason, that seems to be the cutoff. Okay. It changed after that.
I love old country. I love old country.
I'd rather listen to 50s, 60s, or 70s country than anything that's after.
Yeah, so you're not a Kenny Chesney fan or a Carrie Underwood fan. I'm kidding.
No, I've only seen 2 country concerts. I got to see George Jones. This was past the no-show Jones. He was sober now. Those last few years of his life. Got to see George Jones. Got his autograph even. And then Randy Travis, because he showed up. He showed up. It was a free show, and it was for his the Three Crosses album, that gospel album he did. It was that tour, and it was one of those mega churches, which I swear I'll never go to one of those again. It was way too many people, and even though it was a great show, don't get me wrong, you know, but it was just so weird. And Randy, I hate to use this, but I will anyway. I guess Randy was married to his manager, who was like a Yoko Ono, so to speak.
So he married an Asian? No?
No, we're talking about attitude-wise. And
so I thought she just wanted to sing.
No, thank God.
She wanted to interrupt his performances.
She was pushing him through so that he couldn't meet anybody. She pushed him right into the bus. And I'm like, that's a bit damn rude. I didn't blame Randy. I blamed her. Well, I guess they got divorced. I can't remember if it was shortly before that car accident or not. But they're not together anymore. But still, so here's the little story. I'm sorry I'm dragging on this, but I'll shut up in a minute. So I used to take my camera everywhere with me if I was going to go to a concert. Now, I know it was in a church. But me and my friend, we got there slightly early. We had free tickets for the second show. There was 2 shows. We got to see the tail end of the first. The encore was I Love You Forever and Ever. Amen. That was the encore. I hope I got that title right. So I knew when he was going to finish the show and come back on stage and finish the show. So I told my friend, I said, when it gets to that song and he's getting ready to start it, he goes, because we were in the balcony. I said, I'm going down front. I said, meet me at the bookstore. It was one of those, they had a bookstore, a coffee thing, whatever. I don't give a shit. Yeah. So they get to that song, boom, down the stairs, back when I was a lot younger, down the stairs. I'm not kidding you. The people guarding the doors, I go, hey, how you doing? And I walk right straight through them, and I'm like right in front of the stage. Boom, 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 boom. I'm taking shots at everybody. I'm the only one other than the church photographer doing this. And Randy's got this shit-eating grin on his face because he's seeing I'm taking pictures, and he don't know me from Adam. So he's giving me some half-decent shots. I still have them in the box somewhere. So the show ends, and I tried to get to Randy before they got shushed off with the pastor and all. So he had a killer mandolin player, and I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but he was with him for a few years at that time. And I went to the mandolin player, and I complimented him on his playing, because I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff too. I love mandolin stuff. And I said, hey, and it's just me and him talking. There's nobody else around. And I said, hey, by chance, I collect guitar picks. Do you think Randy's got one in that case. Because his guitar case was still over in the backstage part, the back of the stage. And he goes, I don't know, hang on a minute. And he goes to the back. Now Randy's gone, but his stuff's still. So he's going through the case and he's going like this, rummaging in the case. Comes back out, and he walks up to me, and he goes and shakes my hand, and he says, I'm really glad that you showed up here. I got his autograph somewhere too. And he's like, I'm really glad you showed up here, and thank you for coming to the concert. He palms me this big pick. And I walked away and got out of there, and I'm going, bing. It was a nice Randy Travis 3 crosses on the one side, and then it was a little bit bigger of a pick. I just never seen that big of a pick.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what the hell he uses? And I'm like, to me, it just, honest to God, it was like it's like a guitar pick and a half. That was what the size was.
Yeah.
So I can tell you I still have it, but I gave it to my lady friend that I was with.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you don't have to wink. We know you are exclusive.
Boy, what a mistake that was. Anywho, that was my.
That's why you never give them to people that you used to date. You don't give your stuff to people that you love, because love is not forever.
Ouch. Brutal.
No. But what I'm saying is, you keep the stuff you really want for yourself, and you give her the stuff that you really, you're like, But then again, I can't really talk.
He doesn't know that you're giving away your trash because it'll make him mad.
I can't really talk because I've gotten my boyfriend some pretty crazy gifts because I know he likes the Dodgers, so I can't really talk.
Sure.
Oh, but I've only seen one country artist live. I don't know if they're really considered country, but I saw Nickel Creek in 2005 at the Woltern. They're kind of like bluegrass country. That's the only country but man, George Jones. Someone mentioned George Jones. I love George Jones. Also, I really love, someone else mentioned the late and great Charlie Pride. Oh, what a bio career he had.
No kidding. You're right on Charlie.
Yeah. Yeah, my grandma was into all of that stuff. That's how I got into country, is my grandma was always playing country in the house. And I can't stand new country music. I got to listen to like the old stuff. That's the good stuff. Like this new country stuff.
And maybe it's just what I listen to, but like, it's all just like my pick-em-up truck and my big green tractor, and it's just like I don't want to
They
hear it.
have a song called "My Tractor Is Sexy."
Yeah, she thinks my tractor's sexy. Yeah, I know. I had to. My sister had a phase, man, where she listened to that that kind of
Chesney. Oh my
this generic country.
Yeah.
I hated it. I still do.
Oh my God! I
And I thought, because she had a thing where she was into like screamo death metal. I'm like, it can't get worse.
So she's like
But
screamo
then
death
it
metal, and then Brad Paisley.
Um,
That's like so random. I'll be honest with you, I've never really listened to Brad Paisley, but I know who he is.
You know what's a country record I've been looking for? Well, I guess it's country rock. Charlie Daniels did 2 live albums with Jerry Corbett, who used to be in the Youngbloods. I think it's just called Corbett and Daniels. I've been looking for it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I could just buy it online, but yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. This was years and years after the Youngbloods. But I've read about it and I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's probably one of those records that if you find it at a store, you better pick it up because you probably won't see it again.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, I've had those moments.
I've got 2 of Jerry Corbett's solo albums. They're good too. They're not like the Youngbloods, but they're good.
Yeah, I have one Youngbloods album, and that's the only one I have in my clutch. I forgot what the name of it is, but I paid like $10 for it.
They're good. And then Jesse Collins just started to get kind of whiny, and it's just
Yeah, the old country. You can't go wrong with old country music.
yeah.
They really told a story back in the day. This new country music is, ugh. Except I like Sturgill Simpson. He's pretty good. And I love Chris Stapleton. So
See, and there's a line where like country and folk kind of like come together. Like I really like Ramblin' Jack Elliott, but like everybody looks at him as a folkie, but there's country parts of that too. I mean, like the guy was basically a cowboy. So, well, he's still alive, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm not totally opposed. I met him to the newer country music. I like Chris Stapleton. I like who else do I like? I like there's a lot out there, you know, I'm not opposed to. The Sturgill Simpson is also good.
Yep.
There's a guy, I can't think of his name. It'll come to me later, but there's some good country. You just have to really dig deep into the country genre.
Well, it's just like
on the radio.
It's just like anything else. You'll find modern groups. Like there's this band I like called Temples, and they sound like a British psych band. From
I own a couple of Temples albums on vinyl. They're fantastic.
They're good. The only thing is like the drums are really heavy, but other than that, it's like they're just a British psych band.
They are. There's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Highwayman's great. I used to like the Silver Wars before they broke up. They were a good band. Yeah.
How you doing, Calvin? I'm
doing all right.
I'm going to for another 10 minutes. I hate to say this, and I'm going to wrap this up. I got to get up early for work, but I wanted to let you pop on for a little bit. So how you doing?
No, I just wanted to show what I was talking about in the peanut gallery. I didn't really want to stay that long. I was doing some other stuff.
Let me make you big.
Okay, this is the reissue of Madcap Lapse that I have.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Nice. It's a good album.
Yeah, I think I have one like that too.
Nice.
And then this is the one I paid like $250 for.
Wow.
This is the one someone on Discogs he had bought in somebody's. I think it was actually like all blues records, but somehow this was in there, but it was never opened. It's open now because I wanted to listen to it. That's why I bought it.
Wow.
You committed a cardinal sin. Just kidding.
Yeah. If you're happy with it,
I wanted an original Sid, but I want to listen to it. I didn't keep it just for it to appreciate.
Right.
Yeah, word on.
And then I'm gonna show the album version in a minute because unfortunately, when I got the Christopher, when the guy I got it from on eBay, when he shipped it, the cover got folded, so it's kind of messed up. This is not worth much, but this is the let me take it out of the case. Less glare.
Oh, the Christopher album.
That's Christopher. 1970 Hard Psych.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
I think they're American. I don't remember, to be honest.
So was this like a private press album that got reissued, or were they on a label, or?
I think it had very limited pressing.
Okay.
When it came out.
No,
I'll have to look that up, man.
Yeah, I've never.
And then
got me on that one.
This is I show the Metro Media Records.
Oh, okay. Right. God. Gypsy was on there at one point, if I remember correctly, and I like Gypsy.
Yeah, I got the first 3 Gypsies.
Nice.
And then this is unfortunately, you'll see some tape on here. I tried to put it because I didn't want to return it because it's so hard to find. So I thought if I did go ahead and keep it, I would never find another original. But
wow.
unfortunately, he got beat up when it got sent.
Oh wow, ouch. Still nice. I mean, it's too bad about the cover, but boy, that's nice that you got it though.
Yeah, I didn't want. I thought about returning it, but then I said, well, okay, I get my money back, but then I'm probably still I'll never get the thing.
Yeah.
So
I
I figured you don't play the cover, so I kept it.
Right. I think one of the things that I remember getting excited about a couple years ago, as far as for a smaller stature band, buddy of mine found it for me. It was kind of trashed at the thrift shop. He went and cleaned it up, and it was we're talking like 1969, 1970, and it was a promo, but it was you know how sometimes back in the day that it would be how do I explain this? The word free, but it would be all in dots.
Yeah, like
across.
Yeah, Capital did that for their promos sometimes.
Okay, this one was on United Artists, the first Damnation Adam Blessing album. He got it for me for 50 cents. I'm like, I love that damn band. And I got something like that. It was all beat up.
What was
that Christopher one? I'm gonna have to look into that album.
Yeah, you can find the as far as listening to it, you can find it on YouTube. It's there.
Okay, and what was that again? Paul? Damnation of what?
Adam Blessing.
Damnation of Adam Blessing.
Okay, I just haven't heard of either, so I'm going to check them both out. Actually.
So, they do a version of Last Train to Clarksville. That's kind of interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like
if you guys watch Cosmic Brian, he showed it about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
If you watch his videos. Because he's my source for punk and psych. He's a pretty smart guy. He has lots of stuff. Oh, talking about George Jones before I go off. I saw George Jones in concert 3 times. And then once when my mom was still alive, we went to see him. It was like a NASCAR / country music festival. It was Alabama, back when Billy Ray Cyrus just had Achy Breaky Heart, maybe a year removed from Achy Breaky, and then Anderson. What's the guy that did Swingin'? I always want to say Bill Anderson. That's the wrong Anderson.
John Anderson?
Yeah, there you go. And then Tammy Wynette did a solo set, and then George did a solo, and then at the end they were on stage together.
That's
and then
nice.
I saw him a couple other times.
I got to meet Tammy. Never got to see her perform. That's right, Morning Dew. They do an excellent version of Morning Dew. Also, I forgot about that. That's pretty kick-ass, Calvin. I would have loved to have seen that stuff myself.
Yeah, it was when they had a bunch of NASCARs, and that was about I forget the year now, but it was a little bit after Harry Gant. You remember Harry Gant? As far as NASCAR, I guess not.
I'm not gonna lie. I've met a couple NASCAR people, but I've never followed.
But during his time, he was a pretty famous NASCAR driver. He was there signing autographs, and they had some of his old NASCARs, and then they had some other guys' cars.
Nice.
I got a bunch of photos and stuff. I don't know where they are though.
I think about an hour away from here, Mark Martin lives.
Oh.
So, I mean, that's what I've got for that. I've met Kyle Busch and Jeff Gordon.
Dale Earnhardt.
No, I would have loved to have met Dale Earnhardt.
I thought you were just
now,
listening to this. My bad.
No, this isn't NASCAR, but let's face it, this man is up there. I met Richard Petty. He
yes.
The king.
He's a very nice man. He came to the Walmart across from home office. Okay, this was every June they used to do, pre-COVID, they did shareholders week, and that's when he showed up. And so I got to meet him, and then I also got to meet on a different year for shareholders week, but Walmart had nothing to do with this, but there was a Firestone store in our town here, still is, but it said in the paper, come, and this was like on a Friday afternoon, come meet Mario Andretti. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? And so I told I said, I might be a little late coming back from lunch. There's a good reason, or at least a good reason, my good reason. So I drove cross town, and it was in front of another Walmart, go figure. And I went there, and I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm gonna have a hard time finding a parking spot. I managed to get myself in there quite easily. There was a big ass monster truck. I've got a picture of that too, somewhere in a box. And so then I go into the store, and there is only 4 to 5 people in line waiting for Mario Andretti. I got a picture with him. I got an autograph. I think I got one for my son because he collects autographs too. Very nice man. Talked to him for a minute. I said, I'm sorry, Mr. Andretti. I gotta race back for work. And he said something, I can't remember what, but it had something to do with racing bag. He goes, you better not do that. And then I went back, and I'm like, yep. And I showed the picture of me and Mario Andretti. I'm such a nerd. My friend Donna Jo Cat Lady says I have a unhealthy obsession to autographs. She might be right.
It's okay.
Well, it's funny how much NASCAR has changed. Because I remember, I think the main reason why my dad got into NASCAR is because of Marty Robbins. He used to drive. He drove in NASCAR.
Huh?
Really?
And today you certainly wouldn't think of somebody doing NASCAR as a hobby.
Right.
as fast as the cars go now. But yeah, Marty Robbins used to be in NASCAR.
Wow.
Big iron.
To go from a white sport coat and a pink carnation and a town of El Paso all the way to boom, 120, 150 mile an hour around a track. Oh man. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I know I went a little over. I really got to get going. I want to thank everybody that has been on here. Thanks, Calvin, for coming on. Next time when I do this, maybe hopefully you can come on a little longer. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I was busy doing something else, and then you just got on the topic of paying for records, and then I said Christopher, and nobody knew who Christopher was. So I said I'll just come up for a minute.
You got me on that, and I'm glad you showed the Christopher. Now I'm gonna see. That'll be another thing. I'll listen to it, and it might end up on the never-ending want list because it hits the floor, goes out the door, goes into the street, goes across town. That's the never-ending want list.
Yeah, you can find the LP on YouTube, and I think they're American, but I forgot. I discovered them because I found on the internet. I found a list that must have about 1,000 records on it. It's like all obscure psych. I think it's from like Rate My Music, and some guy did put a list of like about 1,000 obscure stuff, and that's how I found out about Christopher. I started at number 1 and just kept going for a while. Of course, I think out of the top 14 that were listed, I think I ended up buying like 13 of them. So I'm still not very far on the list, but there's like it's like 1,000.
And you know,
Do you have like Instagram or Paul?
Yeah, it's under Psycho's Platters. It's all one word.
Because usually if you try to send a link on YouTube, YouTube will delete it. So I send you the link to the list that I'm talking about.
Okay. Thank you. The last psych that I found, get this, at a Goodwill was a few months ago. And I think just it looked too weird. And I think that's why it sat there. Nice and minty on ABC from 68. Ford Theater with the eyeball cover. That's some strange shit. I listened to it and I'm going, okay, I still have it. I'll have to dig it up sometime. But for $1, I found that thing. And I think the thing goes for like $40, $50. And I'm going, okay. I said, for $1, I'll grab anything. I'll take my chances. But it was the cover. It was the cover. And I'm like, Ford Theater. I said, this has got to be. And it was a gatefold and I opened it up and there was some story and I'm going, oh, this has got to be psych. This has to be. And I was right. So, but that Christopher one looks fascinating. I'm going to have to look at that, Calvin. But thank you for showing that out. Yeah, when you feel like it, I only go onto Instagram ever so often. I did a handful of short videos, but nothing like I do here.
Well, I just asked you for that because I know that you know, when I watch reaction videos and I try to make suggestions, oh, why don't you react to this and then send the link? Send the link.
Okay.
The YouTube deletes it.
That figures.
Well,
YouTube's
a lot of the reason they do that is like bigger streams with more people watching. There'll be spam bot accounts that'll send out links to like virus websites or porn websites and stuff, and so that's why they set up links like that. Because for bots,
but the links I'm sending are YouTube. It's YouTube. It's YouTube videos.
I know, but it still detects it as a URL web link. It'd be nice if they could make a distinction, but I don't think it's set up like that. You know?
Okay. Well, yeah. I figured it was something like that. I just asked them because, you know, it's a cool list. It's like over 1,000. And then I found a obscure prog list.
Sure. There's all kinds of stuff. Like for me, there was one. It was like 200 best power pop albums, and I was going through that for a month. And so, RYM Rate Your Music is a great website. I use it a lot too.
All right, guys. So once again, I want to thank everybody that ended up here on the panel. I want to thank my peanut gallery, the studio audience here. Once again, I love doing these things. I really, really do. And also a quick thanks to my mom and Paul McCartney. And we're going to leave it off with this. I love you, Goth Angel. I miss you, Goth Angel. I cannot wait for you to return to me here in the state of Arkansas. I will be doing several different streams over the first week of January. Not only that, I heard we're getting crappy weather down here, supposedly, and I might end up being homebound for a day or two. What better way to be able to share with everything? And who knows? Maybe we'll just, you know, in advance, maybe gather up a pile of records. Gather just gather up some stuff you want to share. We will play show and tell. I don't mind doing this. We all need to learn, like Calvin just did with Christopher. I think and Tim is an expert. I know you are. Tyler's an expert. Calvin's an expert. And I'm an expert. Everybody here has their niche. And I would like in the 2022 here, it's called the Year of Sharing, ladies and gentlemen. The Year of Sharing Music, because music is the common bond. It is. It gets us through things. We're almost done with this year. We're still here. We're still here, guys. I love you all. I really, really do. And I'm grateful. I am really, really grateful to have everybody that's here on this screen, the people in the peanut gallery, all the people, my subs, the people that have commented, all here in 2021. I'm walking into my 11th year coming up in February of doing this beautiful work. I'm grateful for everyone. And I want you guys to have a great weekend coming up here. Have a happy new year. Have a safe new year. But yeah, I'll probably say maybe New Year's Day will be the earliest we will have a broadcast. So I want everybody to take care. God bless. Rock on. And I'll see you very soon. And thank you, guys. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.